Hello, and welcome back to my video series on how to use Google SketchUp. In today's lesson, we'll learn how to use the Follow Me tool.
Okay, so for the next lesson, we're going to talk about how to basically make a cone in SketchUp, which uses a different tool called the Follow Me tool. It's a little bit difficult to use, but with some practice, it gets a little bit easier. But before then, let's talk about another way we can kind of just draw 3D objects. Or different objects. So before we've been talking about drawing objects along the red and green planes over here, but what we can do is we can also easily just draw 2D flat objects along any of the other planes right here. So to make things simple for what we're going to talk about in the second half of this lesson is we're going to try to just draw shapes in the red and blue planes. So the way we do that is we can imagine that if this is the 3D environment, this would kind of be the front of the house that we look in. So if we go to our standard views, we can see that the house that we want to look at is the front of the house, is that one right there. So we can see the red and green planes, see the ground, which is represented by the green grass, as well as the sky, which is this blue color right here. So let's say we want to go ahead and draw a triangle shape. So we can go back and we can go to our line tool, and then we can just draw a line that goes straight up along the blue axis, and then we can kind of just go from there. We can draw a line that goes down to the red axis at a certain angle, let's say, and then we can connect the dots going back over here, which makes this triangular-like shape. Now, this angle right here, this angle of the triangle, if we want to know what that is, we can again go back to the Protractor tool, which is just located over here. We put it at the end point of the triangle, we select it, and then we use the green axis as a reference point. And then we can measure the angle right here. So this angle right here is 30.1 degrees. So now if we want to make the other half of the triangle that goes over here, we can again select the end point of the first triangle, go all the way down to the bottom of the triangle, and then just kind of move our mouse so we can get some angles. And then we type in 30.1 and hit enter. And it kind of gives us a guide marking for the line that we're about to draw. So we just go back and reselect our line tool and draw over the dashed line, which is the right angle that we want. And then we just bring it back and we create this triangle right here. Now to clean everything up, we can either use the eraser tool or we can just select each one of the lines and then just hit delete to remove them from the diagram. And then I'm also going to delete that center line right there because right now it's like two triangles are kind of like put together. So now we can hit that and it kind of gets rid of them. So if I go to the orbiting tool now, you can see that the triangle that we made is kind of like a triangle that's pointing in, like it has height but there's no depth to it. So just like before, we can use the extrusion tool, which is select over here, or the push pull tool, and we can make the triangle have some depth associated with it. But now let's say we want to go ahead and create like a pyramid-like structure. What we can do is we can go back to our pencil tool, and in the same way that we just created those marks, those lines that were like a specific angle, we can do it to the front and the back of the triangle. So if this was the front of our triangle, that standard projection view, we want to look to the left or to the right. It doesn't matter in this case, but we can choose one of those other standard projection views right here. So we're going to select this one right here. And now we're looking at it from the left-hand side of the triangle. And because there's no depth associated with it, it just appears as like a single black line right here, but there is something there. So what we can do is we can first set up our protractor. So we're going to select the endpoint right here. And then we're going to give the reference axis down here. In the same way, we're going to kind of just choose an angle, 30.1, type it in, and it kind of specifies that for us. And we'll do the same thing for the other side. So select the endpoint of the triangle. We select the bottom of the origin for a reference axis. We kind of just arbitrarily move it out a little bit. Type in the number 30.1 and hit enter. And then it will create kind of those guide marks for us. We go back and select our line and pencil tool. We find the endpoint of the triangle, so the top of the triangle, and we just kind of draw those shapes, those lines going along those points that we made earlier, those dashed lines. And then we create a triangle going that way. and then we can just select those guide marks from the protractor and get rid of them to make things a little bit easier. So now we should have like a pyramid-like structure, but there's like little sides to it. So what we can do now is, if we're going to make a pyramid, and let's say it's going to have like a, we can start connecting some of these lines together. And you can already see as soon as we do that, it made it as a closed shape, and you can see it's starting to kind of give the pyramid more of a 3D shape. So we can do the same thing for each one of the corners. Just like the pencil tool and the orbit tool, so you can kind of move around and make the object a 3D object. So now you can see it's like a 3D pyramid with a square base in this case. But now let's say we don't want to necessarily make this type of pyramid with a square base. Let's say we want to do something with a round base, make it like a cone, for example. This is where we use the Follow Me tool. So what we can do is, let's first off by selecting the panning tool and just kind of moving off of the origin or the center of the screen right here, and move it to a space where there's none, where these lines aren't at the axis. So what we're going to first do is select the circle tool, and what we're going to do is we're going to go to the top view and then kind of just arbitrarily put the circle over here. And let's say we're going to make the circle radius is going to be 25 millimeters, so the diameter would be 50 millimeters. So that's it right there. So let's zoom in a little bit more so it's a little bit more clear what we're doing. And I'll use the pan tool to kind of put that in the center of the page. So now that we've done that, select the orbit tool so that you can kind of get to a 3D perspective on this. And what we're going to do is select the line tool, and what we're going to do is find the center of the circle. It's a little bit hard, but what I recommend is, again, going to the endpoint right here, the edge of the circle, and just drawing a line, and then it will kind of find the center automatically for us. Then what I want us to do is just draw a line that goes straight up. So you have to be careful. If you kind of just arbitrarily go off in any random direction, it's not going to work as well as if it's going along the z-axis, or the blue axis in this case. So what we're going to do is kind of just move around the pencil until you see it changed along, and it says blue on the blue axis, and it changes color. And then we're just going to go up a certain amount. Let's say 25 millimeters. Actually, no, we'll make this, we'll say 100 millimeters actually, to make things a little bit more clear. So we can see that it creates this line along the surface of the circle, and then we have a line that goes out of the top of the circle. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit escape to make things a little bit easier. We're going to zoom in more onto the center right here so that we can see this edge a little bit more. And again, you might have to use the pan and orbiting tool so you can see this a little bit more clearly, as well as the zoom tool as well. So we'll reselect our pencil now that we kind of have it in this viewpoint where we can see both the top of the line that we just drew, as well as the edge of the circle. So we'll select the endpoint right here, which is both the endpoint of this line as well as the edge of the circle. And what we'll do is select it from there and go to the top of the line. And what it does, it'll create this kind of like it will create this triangle shape that's half of the circle. And if we orbit around, you can kind of see that it's like a kind of like a piece like before with the pyramid that we made. It's like it's two different 2D surfaces that are kind of like at 90 degrees to each other. So it kind of gives the impression that it's like a 3D object. So what we want to do is make this into a cone. And what we're going to do first is, it's very important that you can see both sides of, or see both parts of the circle right here. So you don't want it exactly straight on like this. You kind of want it a little bit at the angle right here, like so. So you can see this side and a little bit of this corner right here. What you want to do now is go over to the push-pull tool and you want to click it and select this one that says follow me. You want to select it, and you want to select this side of it, of the triangle that you just made. And what you'll do is basically, it'll be a little bit glitchy when you do this. What you want to do is move it to the other side of the triangle that you just made, and what it will do is basically make an enclosed circle following the shape of the triangle, which will form a cone. So you can also make it kind of move around. You can kind of get this half cone shape and work it all the way around until the very end. So as soon as you click it back to the beginning, it'll create this cone-like shape. So let's look at that again, just so it's a little bit easier to see. We'll select the circle tool, and we'll make the circle any arbitrary size like that. We'll hit escape, choose the line tool, the pencil tool. We'll go to one edge of the circle that we just made and kind of move it towards the center until it finds the center for us. Once it's found the center, we'll move it up along the blue axis. And then we'll bring it back down here so it connects both the end point of the triangle as well as the edge of the circle. And we'll kind of get this triangle-like shape on there. We'll use the orbit tool to move the object around so that we can kind of see both sides of this point right here. So we can see both this edge and the corner over here. We will select the follow me tool. We'll select the corner right here. So this is the other thing. You also have to make sure that the surface that you start the follow me tool on is a white surface. So you can see this is like a gray surface. To change the surface color, you just right click and say reverse faces. So you see now it's a lighter, or I guess a darker shade of gray. But what you do now is hit the follow me tool and then just move it around till it gets to the end. So again, let's look at that. We'll select the side and then just move it around till we get to the edge, and then it'll create that shape right there, the 3D shape for us, and it'll make it so that it's a cone-like shape. So it takes a little practice to get used to that, and sometimes you'll get these graphical artifacts that shows that it doesn't work, but as long as you connect the start to the end of the circle, you should get like a cone shape of it, like this. So you can see in comparison, this triangle over there has like a square base, whereas this one has a rounded base. So this is just another tool that allows us to get more ability to create more unique shapes for our 3D modeling.